So next, Omer, if I'm not mistaken, you just came from Solana Breakpoint, right? Okay, well, as a fellow Solana Maxi, I'm so glad that you're here. How is Breakpoint? Is Breakpoint good? Okay. Well, Omer is going to be talking about some of the risks that are associated with underwriting stablecoins. Omer also recently raised $55 million last. Another four, and it was paid using PiUSD on Solana, right? Love to see it. All right, so without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Omer.
Hey everyone, really excited to be here today. And today we're going to talk about how to get the edge on stablecoins. So first of all, a little bit about Chaos Labs. Chaos Labs is an industry leader in on-chain risk. We work with all of the largest DeFi protocols like Aave, GMX, DYDX, Jupiter, EtherFi, Renzo, and more. Since founding the risk platform around 3 years ago, we facilitated and helped process over 860 billion in notional volume. As of today, it's around 25 billion in loans, with over 100 extended over the past 3 years, and 35 million in incentives distributed. Like I said, these are some of the logos that you might recognize. In DeFi, really, we have the pleasure and the fortune to work with the largest teams across every major financial vertical. Now, risk management for stablecoins. So obviously, stablecoins are growing faster than any other sector within the industry. But something that stayed stagnant over the past years is the oracles that stablecoins use and the way that we price stablecoins on-chain. Today, we're going to talk about what the next generation oracle looks like for stablecoins. It doesn't only give you the secondary market price or a hard-coded value of 1. It uses composition and includes a risk engine and proof of reserves, all giving you a price with much higher integrity and security. So how do we do that? We announced last week the launch of the Chaos Labs Oracle protocol called Edge. And Edge has 3 components, which is price, risk oracles, and proof oracles. We really built this because over the past 3 years, as we were serving the applications which I showed on the previous slide, there was really no flow to do real-time risk management. So if you think of crypto as an industry, with how volatile it is and all the different hacks, one thing that most people don't understand is that risk management is completely static. So from the second our systems detected a swing in the market, a liquidity crunch, an anomaly in one of the applications, it would typically take 72 to 96 hours until a change would be propagated on-chain. Why would it take so long? So someone would have to create the recommendation. In this example, it was Chaos Labs. And teams had to craft a Solidity payload or a Solana payload, potentially get it audited before they could deploy it on-chain, and potentially also governance. So we're talking about one of the most riskiest industries in the world. And it was really like leaps and bounds behind traditional finance and the ability to have real-time risk levers. Now, stablecoins are this kind of special beast because typically one might think that it's easy to price a stablecoin. After all, unless there's something funky going on in the background, for the most part, with its namesake, it should be priced at 1. However, we've seen across many, many different stablecoins that this isn't the case. And even if 0.1% of the time something goes wrong, that's exactly where applications can accrue crippling bad debt. So let's look at an example. I think we're all familiar with this one, the USDC DPEG. USDC held a large portion of its reserves in Silicon Valley Bank. Now, as Silicon Valley Bank was going under, there was mass panic, whether or not the government would backstop the bankruptcy. And we saw USDC plummet to around 87 cents on the dollar, although there was only 8% of Circle's holdings within SVB. So this means that the market panicked, didn't know if it would be backstopped, and despite having at least a guarantee of being able to return 92 cents, we saw a plummet beneath that. So this is one example that we see time and time again with divergence between reserve value and market price. So, can oracles do better, right? Are we just going to give you the spot price from a liquid DEX or SEX? Well, we think that is the old way of doing things, and we're here to present something more advanced. So edge oracles take not only the price, but also the current status and composition of the reserves. So if only 8% of the stablecoin backing is in question, there's no reason for it to plummet to zero. With that, you can also use the secondary market price. And the example that I'm going to show you is one of many. With this type of composition across price oracles and risk oracles, each team can tailor the oracle to fit their exact risk profile. So let's talk about proof of reserves for a second and why they matter. So when someone puts a stablecoin on chain, like USDC, people tend to think that it's fully backed at all times. We just saw that isn't the case. So how do you know when something changes? Well, you need a piece of software that's running real time and constantly querying the state of the stablecoin reserves off-chain and can alert teams, users, and financial applications alike if something goes wrong. Now let's see how Aave, one of our clients on the lending side, could have used a feed which put price and proofs together. Okay, here you can see it a little bit better, right? So during the USDC crash, USDC depegged to 87 cents. And this is where Aave accrued a ton of bad debt. Had they used a feed that in this mode would have used the proof of reserves in order to determine the backing and the price, they actually would have been saved of any bad debt at all, right? So this is an example. This example would have worked for Aave in this scenario. We can compose it to work in a different way for a perp DEX, for a stablecoin application, for a spot DEX, a lending DEX, or restaking. So now we're talking about custom risk oracles on a price feed for the application in which a stablecoin is being consumed. So here, just to take this example a little bit further, right? There's a reason why proof of reserves could also be a toxic arbitrage, and this is why it needs to be custom for every application, right? So if USDC was trading at 87 on the secondary market, someone could supply it to Aave, the lending protocol, borrow USDT at 92 cents, and complete doing this loop, right? Bringing in all of the toxic flow. So this is actually the counter example, where you have some things that work for some applications, and it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. So this brings us to the final question. What is the real price, right, of a stablecoin? And to that we say, it matters about the use case. And we're not trying to shove one single solution for everybody. We understand that these things are nuanced. As the industry grows to do hundreds of billions and trillions of volume on chain, these things need to be as sophisticated as their centralized counterparts. So bringing it all together for our multi-layered approach to stablecoin price feeds, we can create a custom feed that takes advantage of real-time proof of reserves, secondary market prices, and also a custom risk policy for the application that's consuming it. What this means for DeFi is better risk management. So less unnecessary bad debt, more security for safety and for the users of all of these applications, and hopefully with this, more institutional flow. I'm Omer Goldberg from Chaos Labs. Once again, all of this is available today in production under Edge Protocol. Appreciate your time, and we'll be here in the back if anybody wants to talk oracles, risk, or stablecoins. Thank you.
Congratulations on all the recent success, Omer. It's good to see another Solana manlet. I think this is going to be the production team.